I actually feel more comfortable on television than I do in the indie. You're not just playing for the people in the building, you are, but you're also playing for a universal audience.
How did the Collision whole thing come about and facing Daniel Garcia?
They said, oh, we've got a match for you as well. I was like, oh, great, cool.
Soft ground wrestling, man.
Yep.
Like, it was an experience for me, even just watching it. Did it teach you anything about yourself?
I'll say this, and this is going to seem weird.
The greatest professional wrestler to ever walk planet Earth.
Woo-hoo.
The greatest professional wrestler to ever walk planet Earth. How are you doing?
Woo-hoo. That's the kind of introduction I love and appreciate, my friend. And a fact, no less. Everybody knows it. How am I doing? Well, like I say, good after that introduction. And in general, great, man. It's obvious. I'm on a roll. I'm on top of the world. 4 belts. Big Daddy champ. Just keep winning. Beating the biggest names in wrestling. Taking the world title around the world like you should do. Defended it more times internationally than any other current day champion. You know, breaking history, creating buzz everywhere I go, man. I'm great. How are you?
I'm good, man. I am good, and it's good to see you, speak with you. Last couple months ago, maybe now, you were up in the wrestling studio. Unfortunately, I couldn't make it to London that day to join you, but since then, I don't know if it was even kept a secret. I think about 2 weeks after, you were on AEW Collision.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna get to how that even came about, but in fact, let's get to it now. Because I'm sure you had mentioned that, you know, you thought you were just going to be somewhere, you know, used somewhere within the universe of AEW, whether it was on Dynamite, Collision, Ring of Honor, Rampage, whatever. How did the Collision whole thing come about and facing Daniel Garcia?
That's quite funny. I mean, I guess prior to like I always thought I'd be involved in working with this company at some point. It's just bound to happen. But yeah, it's funny enough. I just keep doing it, don't I? Keep making history. I keep breaking new records or surpassing new things for myself. So you know, you do an interview with wrestlings one week, and then 2 weeks later, I got new groundbreaking news to talk about, and that's part of the game. That's why we love it. That's why I take this as greatness. But yeah, I was out in America. I had my debut at Beyond Wrestling, and they had said to me at AEW, like, without getting into the deeper details, like, I'd been speaking with someone and they had said, yo, when you're out in America, give us a shout. So I did, and then they were like, yeah, we'll have you. And like you say, I was like, okay, well, I'll be there, maybe shake some hands, and I don't know, maybe I don't know what's in store, to be honest with you. But I got up to leave that morning. They said, oh, we've got a match for you as well. I was like, oh, great, cool. Send over the visa and technicality documents around. Get all the lawyer people and background people to do all that chat. And yeah, so anyway, I know I've got a match, and I wake up. I got to travel the day of, so I had to get up at like 3 a.m. and I rolled over. I had set an alarm, rolled over, hit the alarm off, picked the phone up, and I got a WhatsApp message from a Nafi, and it's just the match graphic. Me and Daniel Garcia Collision. I'm like, all right, well, that's woke me up. So I hit the shower and then got out there. That was, yeah, that's how I found out. I found out, I guess, after everyone else, because I think that night, while I'd been asleep, or maybe just before, but I wasn't watching. On Rampage, they had put the graphic up, and I, was none the wiser.
Big up an RP. As you say it back, I literally remember that morning, like it was literally about 7 a.m. He put it in our group, and he was like, "What sort of thing?" And of course, yeah, he told us he had went to yourself and let you know, and that you had told him, like, this is me finding out, sort of thing. So that's incredible. And I guess at this point, when you're wrestling, you're obviously wrestling week to week, doing, I guess, the traditional indies and stuff like that. You're not new to TV wrestling, which I'll point out now for anyone that does think, you are. But are you like, is there like another echelon? Are you something more than a wrestler, professional wrestler at that point when you are a TV wrestler? Is there like I don't know, an insider term that is used?
Oh, I see. No, I can't think of any insider term, particularly like throw away. He's a TV guy,
Mm,
but like, but no, I'll say this, and this is gonna seem weird, I think, or uncommon. Let's say, I actually feel more comfortable on television than I do in an indie, and I don't know why. But like, I guess that's always been my goal, and
mm.
I've like specifically trained for that. I've specifically curated who and what I am and the whole experience to be a TV product. Now I still exist and kill it on the indies, as you know. I've got a stronghold on the European indies and now taking over in America as well. Doing great. Very happy about that. But like I've always had the vision and the direction towards being TV made and as a sort of knock-on effect, like by design, yeah, like I actually feel more comfortable at a TV taping and in a match on TV. It's a different type. It is a different type of wrestling. Like from a performance point of view, like it is different. Um, I love both, but
Wait.
I also love money, and I know that's where it's on TV.
When you're training yourself, like you said, you're kind of were trained for the TV style, I guess. What are the nuances that you have to kind of, you know, tilt more towards the TV side rather than, just kind of performing in the again on the indies?
I don't know how much I want to pull the curtain back, but I do love you very much. I'm very much more myself in an interview with yourself and an interview with wrestling's lads, but I don't know how much I want to like uh
Give us one thing that, when it's like you said, when you're learning that, I guess the TV execs and those that put together the TV shows, producers, that they definitely look for in a wrestler, if they think this person's TV ready.
well, put it this way. Like when you're an indie wrestler, and you're working on an indie show, you only have to get over with the people in the room. And that's literally the only thing that matters. So you people often wrestle in a very showy, selfish way. They don't have any time constraints to work between. They don't have to get a story or themselves or the other person understood by universally and by the whole world. They only need to get the couple hundred, maybe thousand in the room get it, which is great. And it's a craft on its own. And it's something I do love doing. I've had plenty of 30-plus-minute indie bangers with all the bells and whistles and all the moves and all the high spots and all the rest of it. And I fucking love it. But I guess TV wrestling, you've got to, you're not just playing for the people in the building, you are, but you're also playing for each individual's fuck it, their storyline on television, their character storyline, their character and your character have got to make the most sense to a universal audience, not just a very, very niche independent wrestling audience that probably in that building already know who you are. So you don't need to explain everything all over again. You're not just playing to them, you're playing to the cameras. There's different cameras and different angles. And there's different times, and you're getting information from TV executives, agents, da 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 da. You're going into ad breaks. You're coming out of ad breaks. It's very, very different.
There's a lot of things to take into consideration. Yeah, definitely makes sense. That moment when you're in the ring with Daniel Garcia, do you feel like this is a very big audition? This is a very big opportunity here.
This is what I'm trying to say, and I'll say it, and most likely no one will believe me, but no. The answer
Why do you
is
say
no.
that?
I just felt completely like, and this is not meant to be at all a knock on anyone or anything, because obviously Daniel Garcia is one of the best wrestlers in the world. Obviously, AEW is one of the biggest independent. It's one of the biggest wrestling companies in the world. Like they sold out Wembley last year. They're gonna sell it out again this year. It's obviously a huge deal. It's on live television in America. It's on television like internationally. It's a big deal, but genuinely, I felt like I was more.
I guess
It was beneath is the wrong word. I just felt like this is a walk in the park. I just felt like this is easy. This is a walk in the
you
park.
felt very comfortable with what you were doing.
Sometimes I might feel like a little bit more apprehensive about other matches, but this I was just like, this is a piece of piss. Any day of the week, easy money. Let's fucking go.
What was it like wrestling Daniel Garcia?
Easy. He's great. He's a great wrestler. I'd love to get up there longer with him. I think we will at some point. It's bound to happen. This is the wrestling world, isn't it? Yeah. No, I loved it, man. More to come. But I'm going back to America in September. 9th till 21st. I'm already pretty much booked up as it is.
Nice.
And then I'll be back out again in November, December. And yeah, we'll keep seeing what's gonna happen, man. Let's keep watching. It's gonna be sick.
With all those journeys planned, is there anything else in the pipeline with AEW?
Come on, man. Let's all find out as it all unravels. You know?
I have to ask.
They're coming over here, right? They're coming over Cardiff and All In, of course. So we'll see. I'll be back out there. I think everyone was like, I got on with everyone, and they're all very complimentary about it. I had a good time. So yeah, we'll see. But there's plenty of other companies. We've got Noah coming over at the start of September, and I'm wrestling Marufuji. Can you believe this match is crazy, bro? You got me and Hayata versus Grado in Scotland and Marufuji.
It's wild.
Crazy, this is crazy. I don't even know how that's going to go. There's so many different personalities and like crowd perspectives. It's good, and that's just night one, and then we've got two more dates following that. So yeah, that's happening. And then of course, you know, there's more companies out there in Japan under the same company umbrella. And then there's TNA and there's WWE as well over in the US where I'll be venturing out to. So yeah, AEW's potential, everywhere's a potential, brother.
You mentioned WWE, and as I mentioned earlier on, this wasn't your first rodeo on TV. You've been in those BT studios, those NXT UK days. NXT Europe, forever kind of rumored at this point. Don't know if it's going to happen or not. There's, I guess, in the past couple of years, seeing what NXT UK came in and done, and it, might be coming back as NXT Europe. There's been a lot of kind of mixed feelings as to NXT UK. Was it a necessary vehicle here in the UK for Brit Rest? Did it do more good than bad or anything like that? In your opinion, was it needed? Were the indies just fine? Like, how do you feel about it and the potential of it coming back in the shape of NXT Europe?
I mean, that's an interesting question. I mean, ultimately, whatever I say is just another person's opinion. You know what I mean? It's like, but I mean, and it's all hypothetical, isn't it? Really, at this point, like you could have said like what just before. Well, actually, I guess they'd already signed the little deal as well. But like Progress was at a point where in that time frame before there was a weekly NXT UK, in that time frame, like Progress sold Wembley Arena. We ran Wembley Arena. We ran Ali Pali 3-day weekends for Super Strong Style. It was booming. What would have happened if they said no to WWE money and no to WWE, and same with all the independent wrestlers, and they like stuck to it and owned 100% of the wrestling in the UK and in Europe. Like potentially, yeah, we could have got our own TV deal on ITV or somewhere and had our own product. But ultimately, ultimately the pandemic did hit and that did muck up a bunch of stuff. It also mucked up NXT UK because it was doing that itself was doing great, touring around the country and doing good numbers before the pandemic hit, right? So I'd say the pandemic did more damage than anything else. And in terms of individual wrestlers, like what, even though people were wrestling a bunch and they were doing good merch, like they were not making the money they got off WWE. The WWE came in and they gave a bunch of people great pay for 5+ years to the point where I know people who got married and bought mortgages on houses and like are now making more money as well. So I think it's a net good. I think it was a net good. It got me on television. It got me to work with um, and have conversations with wrestling legends, in the game and have experienced wrestling on television. It gave all of these other people the exact same, if not more, if they were there for longer. So, like, huge benefit, I think. NXT UK was a huge plus sign. Now, with the hindsight of like, oh, okay, like it kind of snapped up a bunch of top people and like the scene kind of died off a little. Is that to blame? Is that not to blame? Whatever. I just say this is that like if the NXT Europe does come along, then that will also be great. And if anyone signs a contract with them, I would say good for you. Like make your money. But until that possibility comes along, I would say this: we as individuals and collectively working together have the ability to make a wrestling scene so hot and so prosperous that companies like WWE want to come and be a part of it. So focus on that. Focus on the here and the now. Focus on all of the talent that is here and right now, because I actually think this generation of talent that exists in the UK and in Europe is better than the generation before. That might be a bad thing to say or not. I don't know. I don't actually care. But what I know is that right now there are some of the best wrestlers in the world in the UK alone. And Europe, I've been going over there a bunch, as you know, defending this TNT World Heavyweight Championship around the world, a lot in Europe. And it's kicking off in Europe. There's some fucking awesome wrestlers out there. Awesome wrestler. I've gone toe to toe with this Jacob Vado a bunch of times. Angle Blanc, yes, yet to mix it up with him, but an incredible wrestler. Senzo Volta wrestled this guy called Lorenzo Lina in Holland. Carlos Zamora over in Denmark. There's great wrestlers all over Europe, and the crowds are so hot for it. The scene is buzzing. Like, I just think enjoy what we've got right now. We could even without WWE. There's the sky is the limit, and we could build our own super hot European wrestling scene that's on television and that makes us all loads and loads of money. So, you know what I mean? Like, let the cards fall they are, but like make the most of what we got right now as well.
It's all about water in the grass. where you are, I guess, as opposed to just, moving over to other places and stuff. And talking about the grass and the ground and coming off TV chat to
Yeah.
the Mukono district in
I do
Uganda.
get it. I see the segue. The grass on the ground, the soft ground, the mud. I get you. Yeah, bro.
It wasn't my
Yeah.
clean, but it works.
No, it's
Like,
good. It was good. I see these things coming. I'm a worker too, you know. It's good.
bro,
Uh,
the clip that when it landed on X or Twitter, whatever we call it these days,
what you
I
call
went.
it? I still call
I
it Twitter. I don't know
I
about
still
you.
call it Twitter, like through reaction, but because obviously it's like, oh, where can you find me? All that kind of stuff. I have to remember it's X sort of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I went onto
When you
YouTube.
text
I watched
someone,
that
when you say
match.
Twitter, do you say Twitter or do you say X?
Twitter.
You still say you text out Twitter as well.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
only
me.
places I have to kind of write it out and say, yeah, this is where to find this, that, and the other. I use
Yeah.
X, but yeah.
This rebrand hasn't gone well.
It's
Anyway,
gonna be Twitter for a long time for a lot of us, to be fair.
yeah.
It's like, yeah, but yeah, soft ground wrestling, man.
Yep.
Like that was it was an experience for me, even just watching it. Like, and I've heard a bunch of interviews and stuff that you've done, kind of talking about, how it came about, the guys you wrestled out there, that guy Jordan that you wrestled out there, like brilliant.
Mm.
More
Uh,
so because I know these days you're very much in a reflective kind of state. You're kind of really rekindled with things like faith and stuff like that. Um, what did that environment, being out there, did it teach you anything about yourself? Where we are aspiring to have, like we were mentioning before, TV wrestling where it's nice and glossy, thousands of people watching, cheering your name, all of that kind of stuff. To this was literally wrestling on the earth, no
yeah,
socks, no boots, your toes in the mud. Like, did you learn anything about yourself with that journey to Uganda and wrestling at soft ground wrestling?
that's a great posed question. Well done, man. I guess it's part of like as you're saying that, I'm thinking about the duality of man in a way that like I am the Mayfairs. I'm flashy. Of look at this watch, look at these jewelries, look at this ring. You know what I'm saying? Like I love to live a good life. I I like to make money. I'm big like aspirations, top of the game. But at the same time, you're right. It's the rawest, purest form of pro wrestling in a lot of ways. That's what attracted me to it in the first place, and that's what connects so viscerally with the whole wrestling world is that these kids are doing it purely for the love of the game, like nothing more. They ain't making no money. Tell you that much.
Mm.
Like there's no glossiness, and so as much as I like all that the gloss and I like all the flash and fame, the duality of a man, of me, is at its bones. I love to be like in the dirt. Like I'm a Capricorn. I got heavy Capricorn placements. I'm very earthy. And it's something that actually like, yeah, there's something so pure about being barefoot on the earth and about like, and I guess this is what I love about those like 30 plus minute um indie main event matches that I have as well is I love to fight. Like I really love like physicality. Like outside of wrestling, I've done MMA and boxing and I've gotten a few scraps in my time too. I love physicality. I love like being pushed to the limit. I love harsh conditions. I love being in a sauna. I love like working out hard. I like being hit. I'm a weirdo for it. Like I like pain a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like I like to hit people. Like the raw, visceral, like earth of it all. and yeah, like that is the magic of SGW in a lot of ways. And I know equally though that like these kids, same as all of us, love professional wrestling and want to make a career in it, just like I did as a young man, and like and what I'm actualizing. And I realized that like when I look at wrestling territories in the UK or around the world, like there's so many times you go to a territory or a school and you see like, okay, there's talent here, but like ain't nobody getting out of here and making anything of themselves because like no one is here to be able to lead them anywhere or like give them anything or teach them anything. So like I wanted to like go out there, experience the visceralness from them and give and do that with them, but then also be able to like give them seeds of knowledge and a door and a hand to be able to like help them grow into maybe something bigger and better, which would be incredible. Like knowledge is powerful. Like, and so if they can take that and better their situation and then adapt it as well, take that knowledge and understand it in their own way and evolve it in their own way, then hopefully they can have something sustainable for themselves in the same way that I'm talking about this with the European scene. It's like we don't need to rely on people to come along and give handouts. Like if we can just like take a little seed and grow it, like we've got it. Does that make sense to you? You picking up what
It
I'm putting
does.
down?
100%. It does. It does. Are you much of a football fan?
Like yes and no. Like I was a big football fan growing up, like knew all of the stats of all the players and who was out on loan, knew the reserve teams players, all the gimmicks, right? And I was a junior gunner as well. So I used to get all the little things. But I am an Arsenal fan and I watched the whole World Cup, unfortunately. Unfortunately, depends,
Yeah. No, I ask because there's a saying in football, but can he do it on a cold rainy night in Stoke? A cold rainy Tuesday night on Stoke, and it's almost the sayings almost come about like, yeah, you can do it when the sun's shining and you look great then, but can he do it in rough conditions when no one wants to go to Stoke on a Tuesday night when it's cold and it's rainy? And for me, you going to SGW and wrestling in the mud with some of those guys over there, it's just like you did it on a cold rainy night in Stoke, or should I say Uganda? Like, but
blazing
a lot
hot Sunday with no shade.
blazing hot sun. Like that's doing it, like you said, at the purest form, just in a completely different condition to how you've ever would have been brought up to do wrestling, sort of thing. So no, massive kudos to you, man. And I'm sure it meant a lot to those guys and girls out there making that journey and engulfing yourself in their environment.
It did, man, and like I'm gonna toot my own horn, like I'm famous for it, but sometimes I gotta, like it's like it did mean a lot to them, and that's you like one of the part of the earlier question which I went on a long bit about was like little takeaways, and like I guess I'm so tunnel vision with my work a lot of the time. I don't like necessarily stop to smell the roses or think about it too much, but one of the couple of the people out there like took me aside and like really made a point to say like, yo, this means so much to us, you doing this. And it hit me and I was like, oh fuck, oh yeah, I'm actually doing this, aren't I? This isn't just this month. I'm doing a thing here, you know what I mean? That's actually going to stay with these people and impact them. What Jordan Lovren said before I left, we had our hard fought fight. Maybe Lord White got involved and helped me out and all the rest. But before we left, he said, I will never forget this day for the rest of my life. Like, thank you so much. Amazing. And like, I'm excited to believe it, brother. And I've been sorting out this GoFundMe. I've now like closed off the GoFundMe. So there's like, because it can't go on forever, you know what I mean? But we've raised a good amount of money, and I've like, it's been a bit more hard work than it should have been, but I've been so tied up in making sure it all goes right and everyone gets everything they need. but I've got like a first little package of like goods for them all to help them with their training and their out there. That's going to arrive with
Nice.
them on Thursday, and it's like a small test run to make sure everything runs smoothly. And then after that one, there's a big package of stuff going out there. So it's going to be so cool to see them get all of that, and then what they do with that and how that helps and improves them all out there, man. Yeah, it's really cool.
Well done, man. It's really good to see all of that. Yeah, I don't even know where to go for that. Where do you relax? I would consider you well traveled, like through everywhere you've gone through wrestling and just where the Tate Mayfairs experience has taken you. Like, where is your favorite place, I guess, in this world to just kind of chill and relax?
That's a good point. That's a good point. My girlfriend would say I barely ever relax. She would say you never relax, 'cause I'm always like thinking, working. Um, like I can't help it. Like I'll even like be laying down watching something. I'll be like thinking of like things to do in a match or way to promote or whatever. Um, I uh, I love um I love nature and I love walking.
Okay.
So I can
In
go
this
for a
country or anywhere particular?
what I've thought about this thing recently where I've been walking around London and like and about, and I have these little make a point to like pull out for a moment at least. And I've called it this. I've coined this thing called vacation eyes, right? Because I feel like when you're on holiday or in a different country, you can look at a thing, and I think like you're looking with it, you're like, oh, it's so beautiful here. Like it's so nice here. I could live here. It's so fucking lovely. Look at the plants. Look at the girls. Like look, it's so nice here. Um, but I think you're looking with vacation eyes because you can do it on your doorstep. If you walk out and you make yourself present enough, like I found that I'll be like, fuck me, like London's beautiful, like in every way. There's so many like just little picturesque, little perfect things, so much great like architecture, so many great flowers, so many beautiful women, like I'm a taken man, whatever, but you can appreciate all the rest. You know what I'm saying?
Of
Like
course.
so yeah. Where in the world? Like yeah, Italy's beautiful. I love like that. Um, Europe's great, man. Like I've been all over there. Budapest is good fun. Croatia.
Yeah.
Um, it's great, but honestly, like so is London. So is London. I tell you what isn't nice. Philadelphia. We were there for WrestleMania. We've already like
Yeah.
shit on Philadelphia, but I think Philadelphia is a shit on the world, to be honest with you. So I think
Philadelphia was so cold. I couldn't believe how cold it was when we were there.
never go back there, please, WWE. Come on.
Yeah, I definitely think they learned their lesson from that past WrestleMania this year.
So, I should hope so. Did you get a cold afterwards?
I didn't, but I was wrapped up. It's one of them ones where I'm wearing a woolly hat, two trousers,
Oh,
a coat on holiday. And like it doesn't like what kind of holiday is this? Like, so
no,
yeah.
not a good one. I'll tell you that much. Not a good one. You know what I'm like? Look, I'm like this all the time, so I got cold.
Just
I was in a box. I was in a box, to be fair, so there was a bit more shelter. But I got ill afterwards. But we've been partying and like wrestling for like a week as well, so something was
yes,
bound to.
definitely a week of hard work, that one.
Yeah.
Man, back on home turf,
Yeah.
back in the UK, like you mentioned, TNT World Champion, Hustle Champion,
Mhm.
Riot Cabaret Tag Team Champion as well.
That's correct. And the Rumble
Um,
champion, 4 belts, baby.
yeah,
Big
the
Daddy
belt
Johnson.
collector. Mayfair's doing big stuff. You're acquiring so much gold right now. One of my favorite sayings is that a goal without a plan is just a dream. What is your goal for the rest of this year, 2024? And how do you plan on executing this goal?
Take over America. Operation Takeover America. Make America Tate, my friend. I've been out twice now. Okay. First one, Mania weekend, great time. Second time, gone international television. Third one coming up in September. And then what's that? September, October. I've got a flat out crazy schedule in the UK. Like I'm almost wrestling every single day in October. October's always a busy one for me. This one's probably the busiest one yet. And October, I always walk out of October like so sore, like limping, like beat up for real. But it's not my first rodeo, so I'm ready for it. But October I'll be back in the UK, and then November, December back out in the States. So that's in short, that's my plan. And we never know what might curveball. We got the September Noah dates. If they offer me something nice off the back of it, maybe I'll go there instead. I've been learning Japanese. I'm primed to take over beyond Europe. There's always more to do, but I am the king of Europe. I've already mastered it. I've already like main evented all over Europe and beaten everyone that there is to beat. And I love doing it, and I'll continue. And there's always more to do, and I'll continue to do it. I've been to Dubai and won the championship in Dubai.
Yeah.
I'll always go back there again and do more, but it's time to conquer more of the world. I feel like even though they don't they always got something negative to say about me, they know that Tateness is greatness around Europe. They know it. Like we saw at the last show in Camden for Progress. Eddie Dennis, although he was trying to manipulate me and trying to like get in my head and trying to get me on board so he could take advantage and have an easy ride, he tried to point out all the good things about me and why I'm one of the best wrestlers in the world, if not the greatest wrestler in the world. I mean, let's just talk about it. Go and do what I did in Uganda, and then 2 weeks later go and do what I did on television. That is a complete wrestler to the highest degree. But they all know it. They all they started to cheer me because they know that it's true. Europe knows. Japan and America are finding out, and so that's the game plan for this year. It's the beginning of the extended world takeover.
I definitely think, not to say that the UK don't appreciate you. I definitely think they do, but I definitely think you're going to be one of these guys that makes it big abroad before everyone at home starts really kind of going, now that's one of our guys sort of thing, when you've been here the entire time and it's like, yeah, Tate's great sort of thing. But I think someone abroad is going to snap you up, as it were. And then, it's going to be like the guys at home, oh, we missed out on Tate sort of thing. That's how I don't know. That's always how I thought your story is going to go. Like, you're going to be like the one that got away for the UK guys, but everything that's coming to you is deserved.
God bless. God bless. Thank you, man.
No, I appreciate your time today, man. Thank you. Anything big coming up in the next few weeks?
If it is, I'm always going to drop it on you at the last minute, because that's the fun part of wrestling. You never know what's going to happen, man.
I wish wrestling was more like that, to be fair.
Someone's got to make it fun. You know what I mean?
Bro, I appreciate your time today. Thank you.
God bless.